Okay, good morning guys. So, simulan na natin itong ating last part ng ating lesson. So, for the thematic analysis, so, yung una nating discussion is about the two phases. The first one is to familiarize yourself with the data. So, we can do that. Basahin paulit-ulit ang inyong interview transcripts. So, for the second phase, yung ginawa natin sa room, ah, naglagay tayo ng codes do sa mga sample interview transcript natin. So dapat by this time, meron na kayong mga interview. For example, meron na kayong interview kay participant 1, i-type nyo siyang ganyan. Then, for each statement, for each phrase, lagyan nyo siya ng code. At yung code na yun should be based on how do I describe the lived experiences of my participants. Ano ba yung tumatakbo sa isip nila? Ano ba yung nararamdaman nila? Ano ba yung ginagawa nila? Nung mga panahong sinabi nila yung part na yan. Okay? So, for example, meron ako mga tapos na codes. So, kay participant 1, ito yung interview. Yan yung ibang codes. Isolation, perseverance, resilience, and so on. So, participant 2, meron na rin ako. Participant 2, yan siya. Participant 3, meron din ako dito. Family dynamics, responsibility, strength, adversity, resilience, sacrifice, success. Okay? So, dapat meron na kayong ganyan by this time. Now, for the next step, next phase natin, we're going to generate the themes. So, this will begin when all relevant data items are coded. So, dapat na-code mo na lahat sila. Okay? So, you will shift from interpreting individual data to interpreting the aggregated meaning across the dataset. Dati pa isa-isang statement lang tayo per participant. We code them individually. But this time we are going to collect them and interpret them as one whole dataset. So review and analyze the coded data to combine codes with shared meanings. So balikan niyo yung mga codes nyo dyan. Sa participant 1, participant 2, participant 3. Ang common na ginagawa ng mga researchers dyan, hinahanap nila yung mga common codes na meron sa bawat participants and they combine them as one. Hindi mo kinakailangan directly parehas na parehas sila, but if you can relate one code to another code, okay yon. So you collapse multiple codes with similar concepts, a single code, and one code may represent overarching narrative and become sub-theme or themes. Halimbawa, ito na ginawa ko. So, mula kay participant 1, ito yung statements, ito yung codes niya, perseverance, resilience. So, based on my understanding, okay, tandaan nyo, this stage is driven by the researcher himself. So, kailangan medyo malalim ka mag-isip, marunong ka mag-interpret ng sarili mong data. So, sa tingin ko, perseverance, resilience, they are just the same. So, pinagsama ko sila. I collect them. Tapos, kay participant 1 dito, overcoming obstacles, which I believe is also a form of resilience. Kaya magkakasama si perseverance, resilience, and overcoming obstacles or from participant 1. No, kay participant 2, ito yung nakita ko sa kanya na pwede ko relate kay resilience sa kay overcoming obstacles. Ito, survival instinct. Yung sinabi niya, but I knew I had to keep going. If not for myself, then for the memory of my parents. So, that's also a form of resilience, right? Now, sa number 2, I refuse to let my circumstances define me. I work hard. Which, so, yan, kaya mayroon siya code ng hard work. At sa tingin ko, kabilang siya nabebelong siya sa code na resilience. So the same ang ginawa ko kay number 3. Minakita ko kay number 3. Ito yung statements niya. Ito naman yung codes na nilagay ko, strength and resilience. So in all, lahat ng mga ito, okay, I believe, can fall under one team. Yung team, bago sa kasal, ano yung team ng ano yung common? Ano yung may something special doon sa group na to? Okay? So, for example, nagawa ko na siya ng maraming beses, so pwede ako magkaroon ng maraming gantong tables. Then, pagsama-samahin nyo, based dito sa mga nauna nyong mga tables, ano ba yung mga codes na pwede nyong pagsama-samahin to form one single team. Okay? So, for example, nakagawa ko nito, yung ginawa ko kanina ito. at tinawag ko siyang team number 1, which is dito, mayroon lang konting description dito. Yung team number 1 na to, napili ko sila because these are the statements which show how the participants showed resilience and strength. Right? So, for example, number 2, ito naman siya. May, halimbawa, naggawa lang ako ng panibagong table uling gano'n. So, pinagsama-sama ko. At yung team 2 naman, hindi ko na pinakita na, but the team 2, I believe, is where the participants expressed their sorrows and grief. Then, team 3, nagkwento naman yung mga participants kung paano sila naging successful. Then, team 4, yung mga nagkwento yung participants kung ano yung mga plano nila for the future. And so on. Guys, you can have as many teams as you can. Okay? So, pwedeng 10, pwedeng 20, depende kung ilan yung makikita nyo as long as nagre-revolve pa rin siya, nandun pa rin siya within the parameter of your phenomenon. Okay, huwag kayo lalayo sa central question nyo, yung lived experience of your participants in that phenomenon. Now, kung meron kang 10, 20, now the step 4 will be to review teams. Okay? So, hindi mo lahat yung 20 teams na yun ay ilalagay mo sa report mo. I-review mo lang. Mamili ka lang doon. Okay? Kung ilan yung pipiliin mo, depende rin sa yan. Now, for our paper, I hope you can at least find 3. At least 3 teams. At most, siguro na yung 6. Okay? Kung kaya nyo, please, minimum 3. Gawin natin maximum yung 6 teams. Kung kaya. So, dapat, yung teams nyo should be coherent and internally consistent. Okay? Ibig sabihin yung mga, alam mo sa team na to, lahat ng nasa paloob na to, consistent. Ibig sabihin, they're all about resilience. Walang kokontra doon sa team na binuo ko. Walang narrative na tawag dito na kokontra sa team na nilagay ko dito, resiliency, which is all about resiliency. Also, dapat internally consistent, magkakasundo-sundo sila. Each participant 1, participant 2, yung sinabi ni participant 1, yung sinabi ni participant 2, suportado nila yung isa't isa. And that is to show or expression of resilience. Okay? And dapat mga unique narratives. Hanggat maaari, that narrative will only be for that team only. Ibig sabihin, hindi na siya pupunta sa ibang other team. Halimbawa, yung team ng resilience, nandito na siya sa team 1, yung halimbawa, yung pangungusap nito, participant 2, they were days when I didn't know how to make it through. Okay? So, diyan pinakita, but I knew I had to keep them going. If not for myself, then for my memory of my parents. So, consider mo siya as a statement showing resilience. So, wag mo na siyang i-involve dito kay sorrows and grief. Dapat yung pangungusap na to, strictly for this team only. Ay, wag mag-overlap yung mga narratives, kundi it will not make sense anymore kung marami kang meanings. Kaya nga nag-code tayo individually. Okay? So, kailangan nakafocus lang ang iyong narratives. So, dapat all teams contribute to a lucid narrative consistent with dataset and research questions. So, wag kayong aalis sa inyong main question, and that is, what is the lived experience of your participants in terms of the phenomenon? Okay? Baka mamaya yung mga teams dito, hindi na patungkol sa kung ano yung experiences nila sa phenomenon na yun. Be careful with that. So, balik kung meron kang sa simula dito, meron kang 20. Sa review teams mo, baka bumaba pa yan. Maging 10 na lang yan, less than 10. Okay? So, hindi natatapos yun paulit-ulit mo siyang i-review hanggang eventually, yung natitira mga steps, paulit-ulit na lang, 4, 5, 6. Okay? Hanggang sa makpili mo the best teams that will represent the lived experiences of your participants. So, step 5, you define and rename teams. So, halimbawa, yung team 1, the participants showed resilience and strength. So, ito, based on your interpretation na lang, pamagatan mo siya parang pelikula. Okay, you can go as wild as you can. Pero wag naman masyadong wild Huwag masyadong madrama. You can rename. Kayo, isang palabas yan na ikaw yung gagawa ng title ng pelikula. Okay, halimbawa, yung pelikula na to is about resilience and strength. Pinangalanan mo siya, Overcoming Adversity. Now, for this theme 2, so, expressions of sorrow and grief, yung nilagay kong name. Then the participants shared how they succeeded in life. Yun, ang ginawa kong title niya, Paths to Success. Team 4, yan siya. Okay, so, yung definition niya, ito siya. Ngayon, medyo maikli lang yan, but you can expound that definition. Next, step 6. Establish order. So, nasa tayo sa reporting teams na eh. Establish order of reporting teams. Okay? So, ensuring logical and meaningful connection teams should build upon each other, remain internally consistent, and convey individual narrative, even though if they are isolated. So, kung napansin nyo, ito yung nauna kong 4 teams, i-arrange natin siya sa by logical arrangement. So, nakita ko dito, sa tingin ko, dapat mauna yung expressions of sorrow and grief. Kasi nga, syempre, yung mga orphans, in-express muna nila yung pangungulila nila, yung mga pigati nila. Tapos, sa tingin ko, susunod na dapat yung, ikwento ko naman yung how they overcome adversity. Tapos, susunod, ikwento ko naman kung paano sila nagtagumpay. At susunod, ikwento ko kung ano yung mga future aspirations nila. Kaya nabago yung arrangement ng team 1 to 4 ko. Okay? So, grief, adversity, paths, then future. So, yun yung nakikita ko. Yan na yung napili kong 4 teams for my study. So, nandyan na siya ngayon. Arrange logically. Next. Okay, next step, yung pang-anim. Ikukwento na natin siya. I-report na natin yung mga teams natin. Okay? So, you're going to make the report on your paper. Okay, ito nilalamanin ng inyong mismong paper sa results and discussion. So, for example, ito na, nagawa ko ng discussion. Team 2, overcoming adversity. Ito yun. Okay? So, first, I introduce. This team encapsulates the participants' resilience, perseverance, and determination in the face of challenging circumstances. This is the description or the definition of team number 2. Then, ikwento mo lang siya. Okay? So, maraming paraan yun how you can report your qualitative research. But, sundan muna natin to for beginners. So, it is suggested na pamamaraan ko. First, you define the team. Second, you tell their stories. Para kang isang chismosa na nakarinig ng isang kwento mula sa iba't ibang klaseng participants. Din ikukwento muli sa ibang tao. But, dadahan-dahanin lang logical yung arrangement na pagkukwento mo para maintindihan din ng kachismisan mo. So, for example, nagsimula ko kay participant 1. Ito yung pagkakaintindi ko. Participant 1 exemplifies perseverance by working multiple odd jobs, struggling through school, and actively seeking opportunities despite the odds stacked against them. Tapos naglagay ako dito, participant A shared. Napasin nyo, naka-indent siya from both sides. Ito, naka-indent siya. Sa kaliwa, sa kanan, medyo nakapasok silang dalawa, ha? Tapos naka-italicize. Medyo italics, ne? Ito yung mismong sinabi niya, nandito mismo sa interview. There were moments when I wanted to give up. Para baga sa comics, ito yung mismong sinabi niya, nakaganyan siya. Pwede siya lagyan na ganyan. There were moments when I wanted to give up. When the weight of my circumstances felt too heavy to bear. Okay? Then I proceed with participant number 2. Ito sa tingin ko yung senior niya. Participant 2 also demonstrates survival instinct, acknowledging overwhelming pain of loss, but finding the inner strength to persevere for the memory of their parents. Tapos, pwede lagyan itong he added. Lagyan niyo ng proper pronoun, he or she kung siya. So, he added, but I refuse to let my circumstances define me. I work hard, often taking on multiple jobs at once. Now ito guys, piliin yung pinakamagandang narratives na pwedeng pumasok sa Kasi maraming sinabi si participant 1 tungkol dito eh. Okay? Kung napasin nyo, balikan ko lang si participant 1. Ito siya, ang dami niyong sinabi. Sila, na may kinalaman sa code na yan. Pero ang pinili ko ay yung, ano pinili ko dyan? Yung may, ito, yung heavy to bear. Ito, ang pinili ko dyan yung, ito, yan. Kasi sa tingin ko, okay, again, sa tingin ko, yun yung pinakamaganda niyang sinabi na pwede ko i-relate. Then, participant 3. Furthermore, the participant 3 reflects on the pressure of shouldering responsibilities as a child. Ayan. Then, she shared, o lagyan ko na, she na lang siya ba? She shared. So, we face many challenges along the way, from financial struggles to feeling like we didn't belong anymore. Okay? Now, so kung meron kayong 6 participants, ikwento nyo lang siya isa-isa. Okay? Ano yung overall na sinabi niya, in-related sa team na yon, tapos magbigay kayo ng isang magandang sinabi niya. Okay? Each participant hanggat maaari. Okay? Now, next, you continue the discussion. Ito naman, ito yung definition ng, yung summary. Okay? Summarize nyo itong buo na to. Okay? In paragraph form. So the theme of overcoming adversity resonates strongly throughout the experiences shared by their participants. Bawat isa sa kanila has faced their own set of challenges, from financial struggles to profound loss of loved ones. However, what unites them is their unwavering resilience. Ito na yung kung paano mo siya naiintindihan, guys, paano mo nakikita. Yung bagay pagmamalaki mo sa kanila, yung lalagumin mo silang lahat. Then, you end the discussion. So, pwedeng 2 ways. First, you relate literature. Okay? So, the theme of overcoming adversity is supported by existing literature. For example, participant 1, ito sinabi ni Master, who defines resilience as participants 2's refusal, okay? Supported naman ni Luther. Or you can give implications. So, sabing implications, ano ngayon? Kaya para saan ngayon yung data na yan? So, kung wala kayong makita ng literature, okay, pero sana mayroon kayong ganito, literature. Pero kung wala, yung implications na lang. The discussion of overcoming adversity, as demonstrated by the participants, holds profound implications for both schools and local governments. So, tatawagin mo yung attention. Hoy, schools, local governments, para sa inyo itong findings na to. So, pwede kayong mag-resource, allocate ng resources, mag-establish ng support system. So, yung schools pwede mag-implement ng resilience education programs, okay, para turuan maging resilient yung mga estudyante. Okay? As yung LGU pwede mag-allocate ng fund, for example, para bigyan ng resources yung mga orphans o yung mga batang nangangailangan. Okay? Or pwede nyo i-end yung discussion using both literature and implications. Next. Sana okay tayo doon. So, yun yung magiging report sa team number 2. Then, team number 3, the same ulit. Ano ba yung team? Tapos, ikwento mo lang ulit sinabi nila. Then, summarize the narratives based on your own understanding. Then, give a review of literature and or implications. So, gagawin niyo yung paulit-ulit hanggang maubos niyo yung team 4, 5, 6, hanggang ilang teams man yung meron kayo. Then, before we end the paper, after presenting all the teams, may dadagdag ako dito, yung symbolic representation. So, I think this will provide mas exciting na part para makita ko kung paano nyo naintindihan yung experiences ng inyong mga participants. Symbolic representation. We are going to make symbols that will present the whole lived experiences of the participants, pwedeng arts, music, etc. So, syempre, paper yung lalagay nyo sa paper. So, alam naman maglagay tayo ng sculpture doon. So, pwede na siguro yung poem. Pag gumawa kayo ng song. So, halimbawa ito. Gumawa ko ng tula. At yung tula na to ay based kung paano ko na-appreciate yung kwento ng mga orphans na nagtagumpay sa kanilang buhay. So ilalagay nyo siya sa inyong paper. Okay? So pwedeng symbolic imagery, pwede kayo mag-drawing, pwede kayo mag-drawing, kung pwede kayo gumawa ng abstract, pwede kayo mag-picture na lang, kung may photographs kayo, nasa tingin nyo, magdi-describe pa rin sa live experiences ng ating mga participants. Okay? Ilagay nyo lang siya doon sa under ng symbolic representation. Tapos, finally guys, go back to your title. Ngayon, nagawa mo na yung mga tips. Meron ka na ngayong symbolic representation. Meron ka na ngayong deeper analysis kung ano ba yung live experiences ng mga participants mo. For example, live experiences of orphans who succeeded in life. Kaya ito sinasabi ko sa inyo nung palang lagi na sa simula pa lang, ang title natin, Live Experiences of Orphans. Lagi lang live experiences. Wala pa tayong bias. Wala pa tayong gustong malaman. Hayaan natin yung kwento nila ang magsabi kung ano ba yung karapat-dapat na maging title ng ating study. Now, live experiences of orphans who succeeded in life. Now, ito yung original title ko. But based on my analysis, based on the kwento of those people or of those orphans, nagkaroon ako ng deeper meaning. So, pinalitan ko na yung title ko, Roots of Resilience, The Triumphs of Orphans. O yan na, pwede ko na siya papalitan nyo na yung title nyo, okay? At yan na magiging main title ng paper nyo. Then you should submit your paper and you should now be ready to present your paper. Now, eto na ngayon yung ating template ng ating paper. Hindi pa rin siya nagbabago. So, title, author's name, school, abstract. Now, the abstract, guys, is just a paragraph, okay? About 400 words. 400 words. Or, sige, lagyan natin 200 to 400 words na magsasummarize ng paper nyo mula introduction hanggang recommendation. Okay, mula introduction, summarize nyo lang siya in 200 to 400 words. Mula introduction hanggang results, hanggang conclusions, hanggang discussion. Na commonly, ito yung binabasa ng mga researchers at makikita nila yung kabuuan ng iyong paper. Okay? So, this is our keyword. Sa tingin nyo kung keywords, mag-isip lang kayo ng mga at least 4 words. Okay? 4 words or 4 phrases. Diba pag nag-search tayo sa Google, halimbawa, what is the meaning of educational management? Ito lang itatype mo sa educational management, diba? Copy, tapos paste mo lang sa Google. May lalabas na doon na educational management. Okay? Now, ito yung mga phrases na to, mamili lang kayo ng tingin niyo yung phrases na pag tinype ng mga tao, sinearch na sa Google, halimbawa, orphans, ay maaaring tumukoy sa papel mo. Okay? Lalagyan mo lang siya ng catalog, parang index. Okay? Para kung sakali may maghahanap ng salitang orphans, isa sa mga pwedeng pagpilian ni Google ay yung paper mo because nandun siya sa keywords ng orphans. So, mamili lang kayo ng 4. At least 4. Now, introduction. So, please review nyo yung introduction nyo ulit. Kailangan medyo mag-jive na siya sa inyong study. Na baka minsan kasi biglang lumayo yung introduction nyo, biglang lumayo yung pangarap nyo nung una. Tapos nung dumating yung data, nag-iba na ngayon yung result. Hindi siya nag-jive. So, i-realign nyo ulit yung introduction para mag-jive doon sa conclusion. Okay? So, still, andun pa rin yung 6. Kaya yung mga dati nyo, edit nyo na lang siya. Methods, meron tayo so far, yung mga nakalipas na panahon. So, ito na gagawin nyo, results and discussions. So, for header 1, ikwento nyo lang. Okay? The study involved 5 teachers, for example. Ikwento mo lang, sino-sino sila. Pero do not give them names. Do not give them any identifying information na maaaring makilala sila because labag na yan sa ating ethics, research ethics. So, mabigyan lang kayo ng konting clue. Okay? Ng mga data pero hindi pa rin sila matutukoy kung sino sila sa totoong buhay. Si kwento nyo lang sila. Then, ito na ngayon yung team 1. Okay? Ito na yung sinabi ni participant A. Ito na yung sinabi niya. Okay? Paulit-ulit lang yan. Hanggang, ayan, team 2. Ganyan, paper. Tingnan nyo, may space dito sa kaliwat kanan ng mga yung mismong actual, yung mga sinabi lang in vivo. Team 3. Team 4. Okay? Ito siningit ko lang to ngayon. Yung symbolic representation. Based on the findings of the study, the paper presents a poem which represents the life of novice school leaders. Okay? So, ito siya ngayon, no? Ito ngayon ay based mismo sa, guys, yung ilalagay nyo sa symbolic representation, based mismo sa data, hindi yung nakahiwalay siya. Pwede mismo gumamit kayo ng sinabi nila, yung actual nilang sinabi, gawin yung tula. Or yung kwento nila. Ito, halimbawa ito, participant A, once content with teaching's allure, found herself ascending her aspirations pure. Kinukwento ko si participant A, yung kwento niya, sa pamamagitan ng isang poem. Okay? Ayan siya. Then, conclusion. So, bigay lang kayo, the narratives of our participants suggests, okay? Ano ba yung main findings ng study nyo? Kadalasan dyan, sinasabi lang yung mga themes na gather nyo. So, inarate nyo lang ulit. So, the lived experiences of the participants can be defined using the 4 themes. Number 1, sasay mo yung mga themes. Okay? Then, recommendations. So, nabigay kayo ng recommendations based kung sino dapat ang bigyan nyo sinong dapat na mag-act based doon sa inyong research findings. So, kung tungkol sa business yan, malamang baka LGU. Okay? Kung tungkol sa estudyante yan, baka malamang kasama ang schools. Okay? So, mag-isip kayo ng at least 3 na pwede nyo bigyan ng recommendations. At panghuli, lagyan nyo ng recommendations yung mga future researchers. Ano kaya yung pwedeng gawin ng future researchers sa kanilang future research na pwede nilang ibase doon sa yung paper. Then finally, references using APA 7 edition. Idagdag ko na rin to. Ginawa ko na rin ang ating PowerPoint presentation. So for example, ito siya, The Roots of Resilience, The Triumphs of Orphans. So this is just a sample paper presentation. So ayan, guys, kung napansin nyo, mayroon akong drawing dyan na ayan, so medyo emotional lang gawin nating style ng presentation ng ating qualitative research. So kung napansin nyo itong background ko, may mga puso-puso, tapos meron dito magkapatid, right? Kung meron kayong picture ng participant nyo, pwede nyo siyang gawing pero i-brand nyo lang yung mukha para hindi sila makilala. Now, first slide natin is for the introduction. Now, we will be allotting only 1 page. Okay? Kaya yung introduction nyo, i-summarize nyo lang siya, o i-summary nyo lang siya sa isang paragraph. Isang paragraph lang, maikli lang yan mga kapatid. Tapos maglagay lang kayo sa introduction page ng isang literature, okay? Sa tingin niyo pinakamagandang literature na pwede nyo gamitin sa introduction part. Okay, hanggat maaari, that literature should establish the purpose or the importance of your paper. Halimbawa dito, sinabi dito ni Johnson's, marami daw studies na nag-examine ng prevalence ng negative experiences of orphans. Pero, hindi nila masyadong ina-address yung experiences of resilient individuals who thrive, na nagtagumpay despite their circumstances. Right? Kaya yun yung nabigay ng inspirasyon sa paper na to. Now, number 2, sabihin nyo lang agad yung main problem nyo. So obviously, pare-parehas halos tayo dyan. The research aims to explore the lived experiences of orphans who have defied adversity and achieved success in various aspects of their lives. Yun lang, ano yung pinaka-main problem nyo. Then methodology, discuss nyo lang din, even though may nakabulit na tayo dyan, i-discuss nyo pa rin sa isa. in sentence form, okay? Yung mga parts na yan. Then, dito tayo magfo-focus. Sa bawat isang team, meron kayong isang slide. So, team 1, adversity transformed into strength. Halimbawa lang na eh. So, gawa kayo ng ano dyan, gawa kayo ng isang paragraph lang para babasahin nyo or i-present nyo na mag sasummarize sa buong team 1 kasi minsan yung teams natin medyo mahaba, di ba? So, gawin nyo lang siya, paikliin nyo lang siya. Okay? Tapos maglagay lang kayo dito ng isang pangungusap mula kay participant A, B, C, D na sa tingin nyo pinakamagandang ilagay sa slide na still under adversity transform into strength. Okay? And for example, team 2, ganun ulit. Pangalan ng team. Tapos maglagay kayo ng isang transcript. Team 3. Okay? Now, dito na sa symbol. Pagkayari ng team 3, resource na tayo. Under resource, yung symbolic representation nyo. So, nilagay ko na dito yung POM. Okay? So, basahin nyo lang to. In the orphan's heart, resilience finds its birth. Amidst the trials, they unearth their worth. Basahin nyo lang. Then after that, you may now proceed with conclusions. Ano ba yung pinaka na ano mo? So the lived experiences of orphans who have succeeded in life reveal a profound testament to the resilience of the human spirit. Ito yung pinaka main finding mo na yung lived experiences ng mga orphans na nagtagumpay is more anchored sa resilience. Tapos, pwede mo magdagdag pa ng other statements na gusto mong maging i-emphasize. So the church not only honors the triumphs of the orphans, the individuals, but also inspire hope and resilience in others facing similar struggles. Okay? So, bahala na kayo dyan kung sino lagay. Basta any concluding statement. First, dapat ano yung major finding mo? Ano yung pinaka-highlight ng findings mo? And then, any statement na sa tingin mo ay dapat marinig or mabasa ng sino mang viewer or nasa audience. Then, finally, recommendation. So, at least 3 tayo. For example, dito, meron ako para sa schools, meron para sa community, at meron para sa future researchers. Okay? So, ganun lang siya. Kadali. References. So, again, those are just sample references. Okay? They were not actually used in the, binasa ko lang sila, but anyway. So, yun na lang muna tayo. So, standby muna kayo sa ating set po. Thank you very much.